yes. I was standing alone. The entire classroom was filled with laughter and chatter, but I stood in the midst of it, quiet and alone. It was strange seeing the whole world pass in front of me with such vibrancy, all while I stood there. On the plus side, I wasn't engaged in any of the drama that might have arisen, like scribbling on someone's paper for revenge or kicking someone too hard. It was kind of nice just standing back and watching things pass by and life go on. I had long before convinced myself that I preferred being alone. I often said to myself in encouragement, yeah, I want to be alone. There is no one I like better than me, so I ought to spend more time with myself. I used to think that, I actually still think that to this day. But there was a certain bitterness that, coupled with being alone, made me feel so sad. There was a difference between being alone and lonely. I just didn't realize it at that moment, and that is very, very true, my friends. And even after that moment, my father, my mother, there was no one to turn to. I was so lonely. That's when I decided on to write then. I was going to see my grandfather. I didn't care if my father wouldn't take me. I was going to walk my way over there and see what he had to say about it. I had never met him before that. What better the time to see him? I had never. You know what? Fuck it. If no one else was going to help me with that, I was feeling I might as well have turned to him. I think I'm not reading well because I'm not really thinking about what I'm reading. So after school, I decided to walk there. I had no idea how to get there, and I was armed with only a scrap of paper with the address scribbled on it. As a 7-year-old, I obviously had great ideas. I soon became lost, and, like I always did when I felt lost, I just stood there, on the sidewalk, back pressed up against the wall and eyes looking at the strangers passing by. And like always, people continued to pass by, and life continued to go on. I was sadder than ever. I had ended up in the situation I was originally in. Nothing had changed. I thought I was silly for even thinking that I could exchange things with my own hands. That was until boys brought me back to reality.
Hun, is that you?
I looked up and saw an unfamiliar face, but it was obvious that whoever was talking to me knew who I was. And from that moment, things began to change. Life began moving in rusty joints, and I realized that things were moving along. Suddenly, I had become part of the crowd that moved like a blur past me. I was no longer someone who stood still and watched others hurry past me. Life had changed. I had changed. Because the very person who found me that day was my grandfather. I had the opportunity to help them. Though, would I? I wanted to, but I wasn't sure if that was the best idea. After all, 5 demons in my house wasn't exactly the living arrangement that I had imagined when I first moved in. There was the matter of making sure no one found out about their powers. Thinking about them as lab rats made my stomach queasy. And even if they passed for humans, how would I explain having guys living in my house? Imagine if my friends came over. They would practically think I was part of a harem or something. Oh god, imagine if my parents came over. I think my mom would faint. Who knows what my dad would do? I think he would have them arrested on the spot. Ugh, this was hard. Maybe I should have written out the pros and cons list before actually having to make the decision.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
It was strange that I happened to remember that my grandfather said to me when I was little, but it did kind of make sense. They weren't in the same exact situation that I was in before, but I did want to help them out. I think I would ease my conscience and also make me a bit happy to give them help, as weird as that sounded. Clenching my hands into fists, I strengthened my resolve to speak up. Well, you could.
What was that, lovely lady?
This is,
Spit it out already.
You could stay with me here if you like. I like how her face just turned back to normal when Sam spoke up. Oh, damn, dude. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what went through their heads from the words. The silence in the air cut like a knife until I finally spoke up once more. It seemed like you all need a place to stay, and, well, I just moved into this giant house, so it seemed like it made sense. It was still quiet in the room, and I decided to keep talking. If you would like to stay here, though, there are 2 things that I need all of you to follow.
Yes?
First of all, you can't use your powers or deliberately do something that might harm me or any guests that come over. Well, save for enemies, but you get the drift.
That sounds reasonable.
Second, you have to help me with any errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so yeah.
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
It's alright, really. I mean, just started living here myself, so I would appreciate some help around the house.
What? Are you serious?
Shh, be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in a bed for days.
They all seem to like the idea, except for Sam. And hey, I didn't really hate the idea either, even if they were incubi. It will be interesting having 5 guys help me with taking care of the house, given they would follow the rules that I had just laid down.
Grr, fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. If you need a bedfellow.
Eric, knock it off.
I was happy that they agreed. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help and my want to help people was fulfilled. I would never be sure.
So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in.
Finally, I'm starving.
Instantly, Matthew and Sam began to stuff themselves with the food on the table. I noticed James' eyes twitching in irritation, so I stiffed my incoming laugh.
Really, you two? You're both acting like pigs.
Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like we've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving.
Still, that's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard swine.
I almost couldn't hold it in. So then, but I did, so I didn't. What the fuck? So then what? But I did, so I didn't? What the fuck am I supposed to do with this bullshit? So then I laughed, but I did, so I guess, but I did laugh, so I didn't laugh. Whatever, so then. Damn dude. I didn't even know what the fuck we were doing, but I got to Damien. I looked back at Damien, who had been silent the whole time. He was leaning against the far wall, moving his lips almost silently to the empty space beside him. Out of curiosity, I looked the same way, though I found nothing there.
It's nothing.
Aww. Huh? I looked back to see Damien looking at me with his normal blank face. I couldn't help but stare back, feeling the red tint of embarrassment spreading across my face. As I stared, Damien gave a very small smile and closed his eyes, returning to his thoughts. Why is she blushing? What the fuck happened? Eventually, we all ate dinner together. It was strange, eating with those guys, but they were enjoyable to be around. They made me feel like part of their family, as we ate together. However, our peace was soon disturbed. I don't get what the fuck did he do? I wasn't even paying attention to what I was reading. It's my mom, excuse me. Hello?
Hey honey, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to see you off.
Hi mom, everything's fine. I'm actually eating dinner right now.
Oh, good. So there was food there. Well, your father wanted me to call and talk to you about having a house party tomorrow night to celebrate the new house and all.
House party tomorrow night? So soon?
Your father insists. You know how he is with events.
I knew exactly what she meant. He didn't like long, relaxing periods between important events. It was slightly messed up. I was expected to act on the drop of a dime, from moving immediately the day after a funeral to my grandfather's house to now organizing a party. I know, well, since I don't exactly have you two here to help me arrange it, I'm going to need some time to prepare things.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, Suzu and Naomi can help. I have work, and you know how your father is.
I know, I have to do it myself. He won't help.
I'm sure it'll be amazing, honey. I have faith in you.
Thanks, Mom.
Alright, I gotta go. I love you, sweetie.
Love you too, Mom. Great, now how am I going to do this?
Is something wrong?
She has to organize a house party for her parents.
Huh? How do you... Oh, right. Mind reading. But yeah, I gotta do it soon or my parents will be really disappointed. I'll have to stay up and organize everything tonight.
Hey, why don't we help you? That's what we're here for, right?
I don't see why not.
I can name a few reasons why we shouldn't.
Sam?
Back off.
We'll take care of everything, miss. Just leave everything to us.
That was surprising. I didn't think the boys would offer help right on the bat. I couldn't help but smile. I was actually rather thankful now that I let them stay. Now I didn't have to do everything alone. Oh god, as I kept thinking about it, I couldn't help but yawn.
Feeling a little tired over there, princess?
Yeah, haha, it's been a long day. At least tomorrow's the weekend and I can't sleep in. Then it hit me. Wait, where are you all going to sleep?
We found some guest rooms on the opposite end of the house from the master bedroom. I'm sure those will do just fine.
Oh, got it. Alright then. I'm heading to my room to study and sleep. I guess I'll see you all tomorrow.
Have a good night.
I will. You too. With that, I left the dining room and went to my room.
Eric, no.
What? I wasn't going to do anything.
Yes, he was.